Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about all the books I want to read in March, and I'm really excited for March because I'm participating in my first readathon. I've never participated in a readathon before, so I'm really excited to do that, and it's one where there's teams and we go compete and stuff. So the readathon that I'm going to be participating in is the Cars readathon, which is hosted by Mare from Mare Reads, Katie from Katie Can't Read, and Kelsey from I Read Today. I'll put a link to all of their videos talking about the readathon in the description if you want to check it out. But I have a confession to make. I don't know anything about Cars. I virtually have little to no knowledge on the Cars movie franchise. I'm just happy to be here. You know, the only thing I know about Cars is, they talk, they're racing, and Lightning McQueen is there. That's really it. That's really all I know. I have seen 2 Cars movies, I think. I've definitely seen the first one and maybe the second or third one. I don't think I've seen both of them. It's one of them. It's either 1 and 2 or 1 and 3. I don't remember which one, but it honestly doesn't even matter because I don't remember anything from them. There's 3 teams, and each team has a bingo board and stuff with prompts to pick books from and all that jazz like every other readathon. The team that I'm on is Team Dynaco, which I don't even know what that means. I probably could have researched that before this video, but I didn't. I think Dynaco is the name of the car, so we're gonna go with that. If it's not, I'm sorry, I guess. The readathon is going from February 28th to March 6th, so that's a week. And there's absolutely no way that I would be able to black out the whole bingo board in a week. As much as I would love to, and that would be awesome, I have too many other things to do during my day that I can't just fill my entire day with reading. As much as I would love to, I can't do that. So blacking out the bingo board is probably not going to happen, but I would still really like to get a bingo though. That would be really cool. You know what? Maybe I could black it out. Maybe I could. Maybe I should set that goal for myself. I don't know, dream big, dream big. So all of the books that I have in my entire March TBR are just books that I picked for this readathon because like I said, I probably will not black out the whole bingo board. So in the chance that I don't do that, the rest of the books that I pick for the readathon, I will try to read throughout the rest of March as well. So the first space or prompt or square or whatever on the bingo board is retirement, and the prompt is one of the oldest books on your TBR. The book that I picked for this prompt is All the Ugly and Wonderful Things by Bryn Greenwood. I knew what this book was about 2 years ago when I bought it. Don't really know what it's about anymore, but it's probably the oldest book at this point on my TBR, so we're gonna get it read. Or I'm gonna try, I'm gonna try. I think this has something to do with abuse and child abuse and stuff. And I think there's drugs, some kind of drug dealing situation going on in this. I don't know. I've heard that it's pretty dark. It's the oldest book on my TBR, so it fulfills the prompt. The second prompt is The King, and it's to pick a book with royalty in it. I picked A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett. I don't know if she's a real princess, but it has princess in the title, so I went with it. I've never read this book, obviously, but I really loved the movie when I was a kid, and I don't know, I just never read the book. So I'd really like to get to this because it's not long, and it's technically a children's book, so the font is pretty large. I mean, it's not huge. It's you see that? I don't know. But yeah, I think this will be a pretty quick read. I don't know. I'm excited to read it just because, like I said, I really loved the movie. I don't really remember that much from the movie either. I remember, I think, her dad dies and she has to go to this boarding school or something, and she's mistreated there. I don't really know, but I remember it being really sad. That's right up my alley, The next prompt is Racing Legend, and it is to read a 5-star prediction. The book that I picked is In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado. This is a memoir about the author's abusive relationship. This has been on my TBR for a fat minute, so it needs to get read at this point. It's not even long. It's not long, but it is a 5-star prediction. I talked about it in my 5-star predictions video. I don't know. I've just heard so many good things about this. I don't think I've heard one negative thing about this book. So it's gotta be good, It's gotta be good. We're gonna see. We'll see how I feel about this. The next prompt is Dynaco Blue. And again, we're gonna just assume that that's the name of the car. I think it is. Like, the car is blue. Dynaco Blue. Team Dynaco. Like, it's gotta be his name, you know? Anyway, the prompt is read a book with a blue cover. So I picked The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I'm pretty sure that cover's blue. It's like a blue-green. I don't know. I'm making it count, though. Yeah, that's blue. Yes, I picked The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I've been wanting to read a lot more romance lately, and I really like Enemies to Lovers, and I think The Hating Game is Enemies to Lovers. I mean, it's called The Hating Game. So one would assume, you know, like, that just makes sense in the dome, so I'm gonna go with that. I don't really know what it's about. All I know is that it's a popular romance book and a lot of people like it. I think it's like some office romance drama. I don't know, but it's on the TBR, so maybe we'll get to it. Maybe we won't. I don't know. I'm excited to read it. I'm just worried because I feel like a lot of really popular romance books that a lot of people seem to really love, I tend to just feel kind of meh about them, and it's a little disappointing. We'll see how I feel about this one. Hopefully I enjoy it. And then we have Pit Stop, which is to attend a watch party or a reading sprint. I really hope we do the watch parties. We've been talking about the watch parties in the Discord and everything, and like I said, I haven't even like really seen Cars. Like, I think I saw Cars when it came out. I think I saw it in theaters, but I don't remember anything from them. I remember Lightning McQueen and Mater, and Lightning McQueen was fast. That's all I remember. They talk, and that's it. They have faces. If we do a watch party, I'll be really excited to watch the Cars movies, because I want to know what the hype is. The next book prompt is Runner Up, and it's to read a sequel. So naturally, I picked Vengeful by V. Schwab. I read Vicious like 2 years ago. Still haven't read Vengeful. I think that is enough to tell you how I felt about Vicious. It wasn't that memorable. It was okay. It just wasn't that great. So I'm really not that excited to read this. If there's one book on this TBR that I will not read, it's probably going to be this one, and this is probably going to get unhauled. I just don't even care about this story anymore that much, but this is really the only sequel that I was like, I haven't read this and I still have it and I still care this much, so we'll put it on the TBR. And I was like, I could just reread A Court of Mist and Fury, but I was like, no, we're not going to do that yet. We're not doing that right now. We're not going to reread A Court of Mist and Fury right now. You know, I just read that book for the first time like 3 weeks ago, and now I already want to reread it. So I don't, you know, I can't be doing that. This is the one for now. Will it get read? Honestly, most likely no. But it's on the TBR, and that's what counts. The next prompt is The Cozy Cone. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming it's a Cars reference. It is to read a comfort book or comfort genre. When I think of comfort book, I think of Little Women. And Little Women is kind of long, and I don't really want to reread Little Women next month. I don't really want to do that. So another comfort book that I thought of was Emma by Jane Austen, which I also don't really feel like rereading in March. So thinking of Jane Austen, I was like, I haven't read Persuasion by Jane Austen, and I really want to. So that's the book that I picked. Very long explanation for this small piece of info. I went with Persuasion by Jane Austen. It's pretty much the only Jane Austen that I haven't read yet. I really hope I get to this one in March because, one, I love Jane Austen, and two, this is one of her more like underrated novels, but I've also heard that it's one of her best novels. But yes, that is the book that I picked for that prompt. And the last prompt is Radiator Springs, and it says to read a book with found family elements in it. I don't really have anything on my TBR with found family elements that I'm aware of. It's not really a trope that I reach for. It's not something that I'm like, oh my god, I love this found family. Like, I don't know. I don't ever feel like that in books. It's just not really something that I care for that much. I don't hate it or love it. It's just not something that I really think of. So the book that I picked might be a little bit cheap because I don't think the found family elements in this book are really that strong. But, I mean, they could be argued that they're there. You know? I picked City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I've been wanting to reread this book for over a year now, and I still haven't done it. I don't know why, but I really want to reread the whole series, so I took advantage of this to pick this book and put it on the TBR. So yes, do I think the found family elements in this book are that strong? No, I don't think they are, but you can argue that they're there, at least in this one. I'd say that they might get a little bit stronger later on in the series. It's been so long since I've read them, so don't quote me on that, but yes, I wouldn't say they're that strong in this one, but I picked it anyway. Like I said, this book for this prompt is a little bit cheap, but I don't care. Yeah, I've been wanting to reread this entire series for like over a year, and I recently made my boyfriend read this book, and that made me want to reread it even more. So yes, we're finally here, we're finally gonna do it, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great time. So those are all the books that I want to read for the Cars readathon, and pretty much all the books that I want to read for March. Like I said, the chances of me blacking out the bingo board for 1 week of the readathon are very slim. I'm really hoping to get to all of these books because I feel like I have a lot of books on this TBR that I've been pushing off the longest and the most out of all the other books that I want to read. So it'll be good to read these. These are always books that, like, when I look at my bookshelf, I don't see them. Because my eyes are like, yep, that book has been here for way too long and you haven't read it, so just like ignore it. It doesn't exist. But it does exist. So I'm forcing myself to acknowledge that it still exists and it's still a book that I want to read. So that concludes my March TBR and my Cars readathon TBR. Let me know what you want to read in March. Let me know if you're doing the Cars readathon as well. So that concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!